This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The crippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Racer consultants are standing by. We'll take caller 9-844-999. Olo to play profile this in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a video going around of someone who got fake fingernails that look like teeth. It's not even the front one, the molars.
Oh,
says
white. Do you have a picture of it?
This is a white person.
I could look it up real fast.
What?
I'm saying, look, man.
Black woman would never mess up her nails. And
Are you kidding me?
Don't make them look bad.
Are you kidding me?
If she thinks that,
leave it No, you misunderstand. If she thinks it looks good, then that's what's going to happen, and you ain't going to tell me nothing.
Here you go, boss.
All right, let's see.
I can't see that. See, that looks like crap.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
God damn.
Yeah, good times.
That is, who do you think she attracts? You know what I mean?
Dentist.
Like, see that? Like,
Dentist. I'm going to marry a dentist.
Damn, man.
The couple who got caught having sex at the Wisconsin State Fair last summer is in trouble again. He violated his probation by contacting someone he wasn't allowed to, and she got caught with a bunch of drugs.
Jeez. Guys, stop. They asked you not to do this. You know they're looking at you. Obviously, you're stupid, so they watch even more.
Exactly.
Do you know what time they were at the state fair having sex, Mike?
I'm not working on it o'clock. That's when.
All right.
I'm not working on it o'clock.
Hour strikes no.
I'm just saying, it's a state fair. Like, what's going on? What time of day is this that you just had the impulse to have sex at the state fair?
Oh, middle of the day, man.
Yeah,
no
man.
doubt about it.
Day drinking.
Like every state fair.
You get some cotton candy in you, one Ferris wheel ride, I'm ready.
A rich couple in California recently divorced, and there was some confusion over a $35 million Picasso painting that they owned. The husband let the wife have it after losing a coin flip. Then she admitted it didn't matter because she'd already taken it. And the one that they flipped a coin for was a reproduction that she painted herself.
Oh, wow, man.
Oh, no, she stole it. And wait a minute. That's impressive. Think about what she did. She went and she replicated the painting to the point where her husband thought that was the original, and then she stole the original. Either that or he just didn't give a crap and didn't look at a $35 million piece of art he had hanging in his house. But for one, she has to be a good artist. Either that or she had a commission to be paid.
Or Picasso's overrated.
Or one of I mean, come on.
Sorry, man.
Says she painted it herself, man.
Okay, well, that's
right.
That's
just saying.
That's some tomfoolery right there.
Right?
That's some trickery.
Somebody in Texas got pulled over for driving too close to the car in front of him earlier this month. Then police found $2 million worth of meth in his car.
Hey.
Jeez. $2 million.
What is it that you always say that you don't condone actually being a drug mule, but if you're gonna, don't be an idiot about
if
it?
you got drugs in your cars, follow every single traffic rule to the T.
Yeah,
don't do anything.
God, rent a U-Haul like everyone else. Act like you're moving.
Exactly.
I just think it's insane. Like, have you never seen like a movie about people that do drugs? Like, you got that much.
You have $2 million in
why
cheap
are you
ass drug.
tailgating somebody?
Right.
Like, they'll wait for you.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, man, but I mean, do you remember the movie with the Miller's family? What the hell is that?
Meet the Millers.
That's. You need to have a husband. You need to have a wife. It'd help if you had a kid in the back of the car. There's all kinds of ways to be a mule without looking like two dudes in their 20s who haven't bathed in 25 days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, if you're gonna be a man, look,
be smart.
If you're gonna be a criminal, wear a suit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even if you're legitimately a criminal, like Wall Street, you don't go to jail. But no one feels intimidated or thinks anything bad's going to happen if someone is wearing a suit. Like if I'm going to be a mugger, put on a suit. You can approach anybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Facebook filters recently took down a photo of a hairless puppy, but we get it because it totally looks like something different in the photo.
Well,
what does it look like? That hairless
turn around.
puppy.
Oh my God!
All right,
it straight up looks like a penis.
Hairless puppy.
I mean, it looks exactly.
No, that's what I'm going to call my penis now. The hairless.
Look at that.
Would you like to see the hairless puppy?
It's an overhead shot. The guy's got it in his hand, and
It's not okay.
Come hither and pet the hairless puppy.
man.
Oh goodness!
I have a hairless puppy you can
You
hold.
could put that up and say penis or hairless puppy, and I'm telling you, 50-50 on getting it right.
Hold it in your hand, it'll amaze you.
One of these is porn, one of these is a cute puppy.
Also, one headline I'm looking at is from an English paper. Pic of hairless newborn puppy is banned because it looks like a willy.
Looks like a willy.
You got to name the dog Willie, right?
A man in New York is
That is
suing.
disturbing.
A man in New York is suing Halo Top because he thinks their packaging for the light ice cream looks too much like regular ice cream. Also, he says that Halo makes people think of yellow, which is the color of butter, which is creamy.
Can you really sue because you bought like ice cream without as much sugar in it?
Yes, you
no
can,
idea.
but you cannot sue successfully.
That's right. He's pursuing.
My brother always is that you can sue anyone for any reason you want, but the chances of you being successful when it's that stupid are real low. He'll spend more money going to court for this.
Well, he's trying to go get $5 million back. So
$5 million?
Yep.
For what?
I have
Because
no
you're
idea.
dumb?
Exactly.
I could see suing the other way.
What's that?
If you thought you were getting the stuff that didn't have as much sugar and everything in it, you thought you were getting the healthier one and you got the full fat one. But it seems like for this guy, that's probably, like, I don't know, man.
It's ice cream.
And it's 1 pint.
And it's ice cream.
Right.
It's ice cream. It's no more than worth the value than the pint of ice cream.
The Social Security Administration just released the most popular baby names from last year.
They're pretty close to the previous year, aren't they? Normally the Emmas, the Avas, the whatever.
I'd believe it, but I'm not working on it, so I don't know.
Whatever's popular.
Exactly. Look for a lot of names. That's a popular name.
Yeah, but you always know it. You don't know it when the babies are born because a lot of people don't know newborns. But when you finally get a kid and you check into class and you realize that there's like 5 of those names in that class, and you go, oh, all right, now I see what happened there.
That's the only part I don't understand, right?
What's that?
Well, like, how does everybody end up picking the same kind of names that all of a sudden get massively popular?
I don't know.
You're right. I never knew anybody that said, oh, we talked to our friends.
I think
You would because you would never name. You would want it to be original. You would never share
But
the
look,
name.
I mean,
you
my
know?
niece, right? She's 15.
Right.
She's Maddie. She's a Madeline.
So she's a little ahead of the curve, though.
But there's
right?
a ton of them, and I'm just like, how did
My
this
daughter's
happen?
the same way.
Yeah,
man.
but everyone dresses the same. People name people. One of the most amazing things about this country to me, and maybe it's true of other countries, I'm just not there to know, but everything happens at the exact same time for 2 or 3 years. Like what? Name the fashion, name the name, the big food craze, right? Well, the tater tots, and I don't get it. Like
name
people,
your kid tater tot.
people go with whatever you tell them to go with, and
whatever's
that's the way it
popular.
is.
Sometimes when it's popular, it's top of mind, and you just think, oh, I want to name him Hunter.
Some psycho started yelling at the employees at a gas station in Mississippi last Wednesday because some peach cobbler he bought didn't have enough peaches in it.
Oh, he went crazy.
And then he pulled a gun on a
He
guy. and
did.
tried to
Another
shoot him.
customer stuck up for him, and they pulled a gun and shot him in the back.
Well, I don't know about you, but peach cobbler's damn delicious.
I think it was in Georgia. No, it was in Mississippi.
It's in Mississippi.
So it's probably very important.
It wasn't in Vermont. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you had to guess a
Wasn't
part
about-
of the country that someone fired a gun at someone else because there were not enough peaches in their peach
It
cobbler.
wasn't definitely not about maple syrup or sage.
A Miami high school's Welcome to the Jungle themed prom landed them in hot water for getting into the theme.
Why is that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, DJ. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, DJ, you understand how this here game is played?
Yep.
All right, you have a name for radio. All right, here is your story. And first of all, we know that Yo Mama jokes have been around since long before any of us were kids. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to go anywhere. The point I'm getting at is that the woman in this story probably could have waited, I don't know, another hour or so before she decided to research them. There's a 39-year-old woman, and she's a school bus driver in Blaine, Minnesota. And back in February, while she was driving a bunch of kids to school, she was on her cell phone. Keep in mind, your school bus driver, where God forbid they have seatbelts, is on her phone while driving the kids because she was looking up Yo Mama jokes. At one point, she even had a kid come up to the front of the bus and read the jokes over the intercom. Well, as you might imagine, a parent eventually complained. The school went and reviewed the bus's video footage from the day, and they saw the kids running all over the bus while it was moving, and the bus itself was swerving in and out of lanes of traffic onto the shoulder. She was just arrested on 15 counts of child endangerment and reckless driving. It should be noted there were 16 kids on the bus, but the one kid no one cares about. But do you believe that this woman is black, white, Mexi, or Jew? Looking up Yo Mama joke.
And no location on this?
Blaine, Minnesota.
Blaine, Minnesota.
Your mama's so stupid it took her 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes. Your mama's so fat her blood type is ragu.
What's that about Minnesota?
So there's a lot of white people in Minnesota, so I'm probably going to have to swing white.
And Prince. Oh, he's gone.
Your mama's so fat she can't even jump to a conclusion.
But she was looking them all up, right?
Right.
She was looking up Yo Mama
To me,
joke.
if you're black, you would know Yo Mama joke.
Your mama's so poor she can't even afford
Right?
to pay attention.
You'd at least know a handful of them without having to start looking them up. Or maybe she told them all and then had to, go to the... Because she knows there's a well of them.
Your mama's teeth are so yellow when she smiles at traffic it slows down.
I mean, there's not a ton of hints there, right? She's
No.
looking up the jokes. She gets the other kid to read them
That's
over
it,
there.
right. And she's obviously driving crazy.
She's driving
And it's
the
a
bus.
school bus?
Yes, it is.
It's a big butter stick rolling down the road, man.
I'm impressed it had an intercom system where the kid just
They
yelling.
started getting it. Oh, no, she had an intercom.
We never had that.
Your mama's so old she walked out of the museum, the alarm
We had
went off.
one realistic Radio Shack speaker in the front and a crappy sound system.
Your mama's so ugly. When she was little, she had to trick or treat by phone.
DJ,
Your
what
mama jokes are also very, like they're in every culture.
Yeah.
White, black, like everybody's got your
Your
mama
mama's
jokes.
so fat I swerved to miss her in my car and ran out of gas.
Don't forget Mother's Day's coming up, kids. What do you think there, DJ?
I'm going to have to stick with white.
Play the numbers on Minnesota?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we're going to find out if she was black, white, Mexican, or Jewish next.
Your mama's so fat she stepped out of scale and it said to be continued.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
We head to Minnesota, probably eating a casserole. Profile this. It's a bus driver, and the bus driver is 39 years old, and she's driving the kids down the road, and at the same time she's on her phone looking up Yo Mama jokes, and the kids are then reading them over the loudspeaker on the bus, and true to form, they go back and look at the video, and there's the bus swerving all over the road. The kids are running amok. They're going up and reading the phone, telling the Yo Mama jokes, and I guess, did they fire her?
They did fire her.
Okay.
And not just that, apparently everyone knows Yo Mama jokes, just the comments that came in. Your mama's so fat her belly button gets home 15 minutes before she does. Your mama's so dumb she went to the movies, said under 17 not admitted, so she buys 16 more tickets. Your mama's so fat the National Weather Service names each one of her farts. Your mama's so short she can see her feet in the profile picture. These are just the ones that came in. Your mama's so stupid she saw an airport left sign, so she turned around and went home.
Your mama's so fat Jesus couldn't lift her spirits.
No.
Your mama's so...
That's harsh.
I just feel like even Jesus, right? Even Jesus couldn't lift your spirits. Hello, DJ. Yeah, we asked you, did you believe this bus driver was black, white, Mexican, or Asian? And you went white.
Yep.
You are correct, sir.
Very good. Nice work. Okay. All right, there you go. Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Mike mentioned it earlier. Peach cobbler gets people fired up.
Yes.
So,
Literally.
Miles, you were right. It was in Mississippi, but the news station itself we're going to hear from is News Channel 3 down in Memphis. I did not realize how close Memphis is to a lot of other states.
It's really close, actually.
Yeah. So basically, you heard the story. The guy got shot in the back over peach cobbler. There's another guy.
I mean, it's just...
It happened.
It's not okay.
And then when you hear this guy, when you listen to him right now, you'll understand. And you could go watch the video at the Men's Room Facebook page. I mean, he looks like the guy that would break up a thing in a convenience store and get kind of caught up in it.
And he started cussing her out, so I set my Coke on the counter. I looked over at him, and I was like, sir, I was like, dude, you ain't going to talk to him like that. Everybody that comes to this store, knows these women. You know what I mean? That's disrespectful. I was like, man, all he's going to do is argue. He ain't going to do nothing, over some peaches. Peaches. You want to shoot at me over some peaches, bro? He reached over the car and shot again, and only thing I could think of was that dumpster. I thought, really, I was dead. I was done. Put up the guns, dude. Take it back. Let's go with these hands. You want to go? I would do it again 100%. Yes, ma'am.
Jesus.
You're right. He does sound like...
Yeah.
Right, I mean, he looks like I like too. He's like, let's go with these hands.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's just kind of a scrawny looking white dude.
That sounds about par for the course there, though.
And you shoot me over Peaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Peaches.
Right. Like if I got shot over Peaches, I hope she is next on stage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All coming up on the main stage.
Right.
Yeah, but she'd be a redhead and you're into blondes. So.
Well,
she wouldn't be interested in you is the problem.
I'm just saying, like, the guy's right. And the whole thing was that there wasn't enough peaches in the cobbler. Which also, I know, Miles, this will fire you up. And also, it's so Southern that, like, and if you watch the full clip, he explains that this is the whatever not truck stop. They have a name. I guess it's like a truck stop. But the point is,
does it have subtitles?
No, but they serve peach cobbler. That's the part I can't get over.
This place, okay, there's a culture out there that I'm not sure that we grasp real well in the Pacific Northwest, but in the South, they grasp it very well, which is, even in some areas, believe it or not, Pennsylvania and those areas too. Maryland does it. Virginia does it. It's really good food in gas stations. I'm talking really that's the difference. Really good food while you're filling up your car with gas. You literally can stop and fill your car up so you can get to work the next day, and you can bring home something that every single person will like. And if you call them and
you're not picking up like a steak Oscar. No. But if you get, instead of going to KFC, you're like, hey, I need to get cigarettes and gas. Hey, baby, you want me to grab fried chicken from? And then
that place had meatloaf.
Yep.
That particular mart, I watched the video.
They had peach cobbler.
They had everything. They had
peach cobbler.
Like, I can't get past that.
They had JoJo potatoes. They had 2 different kinds of gravy. They had biscuits. They had hush puppies. They had French fries.
I think there's a simple way to explain it.
It's called like the food mart. You know,
but the simple way to explain this is what the story's about. You went to a gas station and you got peach cobbler. But because of your expectations, because how good the food is at a gas station, you're still shocked that at a gas station you did not get enough peaches in your peach cobbler. That's the sign that the food must be good, because typically, if I go to a gas station to buy anything and don't get botulism, I would send a thank you note.
Absolutely.
Well, technically it wasn't a gas station. It was JoJo's Travel Center.
Okay. They're travel, because you're traveling through that area. Yeah, if you see a barbecue stand at a gas station,
go.
Pull over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. I used to eat a lot more food. Like, it's cool now wherever you go, especially on the West Coast, there's food trucks everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
But, like, back in the day, like, I used to eat a lot of food from trucks, but we would, like, there were specific barbecue places or, like, chicken or even crabs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you wanted to get crabs, you would go to, like, a guy on the side of the road and buy his crabs.
Vegetables, everything.
Side of the road kind of stuff.
Yeah. We call that the East Coast Farmers Market.
It is. It really is.
Right? They're not all together, but in one stretch of driving home, there's 5 places you can go to get produce, get seafood, get meat, socks, and batteries.
You just got to pull over where you're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's all.
But I like that. He's like, I'm at the travel center over that peach cobbler.
Peaches.
Yeah. I think couldn't get more Southern than it already did. You know, sometimes you might see a star, you get kind of starstruck or whatever, and then, you know, maybe you engage with them, maybe you don't. I would say the plane is one of the odder places to run into people.
Mm.
Like, I walked into, like, an athlete I knew once, and I just kind of looked at him and said something that he would know, and he just kind of smiled. But it's weird. You feel
Who's the athlete?
It was LeVar Arrington.
Okay.
I was just boarding a flight. Dude. Yeah, and he's sitting in first class. He used to play for the Redskins. So I couldn't help myself. So I was like, go Skins. And he was like, wait a minute.
Why didn't you say, I can't believe they let your black ass sit up front?
Because I know he's rich.
And there's all kinds of reasons.
LeVar Arrington might have been like the last lineman to play linebacker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
the LeVar Leap when he's at Penn State. But it's weird when you see somebody on a plane and they're sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I saw somebody at a bar with a group of people,
you get it.
I'd say, hey, what's up to them? But, you know,
you're trapped there, and I got you in my sights.
Right, that's the issue, is on the plane, they're just kind of stuck there.
Oh, I'm sitting next to you, homie.
Right. So Ryan Reynolds, he shared on Graham Norton kind of a very odd time that somebody wanted to say hello to him.
There's a couple that were on a honeymoon, and the plane hadn't yet taken off, and the woman who just gotten married just became violently and horribly ill on the plane. I mean, it was not like a pretty little like sick bag kind of thing. It was just like, I'm going to paint with my organs. Like, it was just crazy, and people were freaking out all over the plane. So they brought a stretcher down and they put her on the stretcher and they're wheeling her away, and like, her new husband is just kind of cruising along with the thing, and he sees me and he's like, Deadpool! No way! High five! And I'm like, what do you, like, what has she got? Like, what's happening? like he's like, let's touch eyeballs. No. And by the way, your wife is like half dead. Help her, man. So it was just a very surreal moment. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're on their second anniversary now.
Yeah. It's like, they're just getting dragged off the plane on a stretcher. Like, oh, there's Deadpool. And he threw out the high five.
I know. Right. After your wife's violently ill. Look, I don't want to touch you.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like an odd interaction, but I think that might be one of the weirder ones. Other than maybe running into a celebrity in the bathroom.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, it is. All right, this is that time of year where shows either get canceled, or they get picked up, or they just kind of. There's a couple shows, honestly, that get neither. They just leave them in limbo, and you got to kind of guess what's going to happen.
I don't know if I should audition for this other show. I don't know if I'm still employed. And for no other reason, just tell people for that, right? You're an actor, and look, if you can get a gig as an actor, you're going to take the gig because obviously it's a crazy thing to be in, but your show's in limbo. Maybe someone else is trying to tap you to do something, and like, man, I don't know if I'm still under the contract,
It'd be like getting released after all, from a football team after the teams have spent all their money. And nobody can afford you because you're high priced, Des.
Brian.
Even though somebody offered you a multi-year contract.
And you turned it down.
And you said, I'm going to prove myself, and then no one hires you.
Who offered him a contract?
Ravens.
Did they?
They offered him 3 years.
I just saw he's got it in an odd spot. It's like basically free agency was over. So there is some shows. I don't know why they do it to him, and it's generally the same shows. Like if you were kind of questionable the year before, they'll wait till like summer. And I think some of the networks are just waiting to see what shows actually get done or what they're going to put in production. But the most interesting thing, I think, so far has been Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So about a week ago, we find out Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Fox is going to cancel it. Twitter kind of went crazy, a few things. It didn't even last a few days. Brooklyn Nine-Nine gets picked up by NBC. Now, a little more interesting tidbit on that is basically NBC is saying, hey, look, Brooklyn Nine-Nine came to us years ago. We didn't pick it up. Then it went to Fox. It's always kind of bummed us out. And then especially with
Andy Samberg. I mean, that's their guy.
Right. He was on SNL, which is an NBC product for years. So they were like, dude, if we knew he was going to be on there, we probably would have picked it up. So.
Well, guess what? They did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got it now. But the thing is, some of those shows, too, like, people feel real bad. Like, people get fired up, right? Like, they want to bring these shows back. Like we said, like, Family Guy is the most famous one, this and that. But, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, while it is a funny show, like, it just didn't get that good of ratings.
Right.
I like NBC. They're upfront about it. They said, they basically like, we think it'll fit better in our brand than it actually did in Fox's brand of comedy.
Also depends on where they put it, what they put it on.
But they'll promote it more because it's their boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. They'll promote the hell out of it.
Plus, I mean, yeah. And when I think Fox, I don't know about you guys, I generally think funny cartoons.
Right.
Anymore.
That's their thing.
Like
and sports.
Right. Like they have live, live shows with humans that are funny.
Live action?
Right. I don't know how I was going there.
Shows with humans.
But if I just think of sitcoms that I watch on a weekly basis, like I generally think of Fox for the cartoons.
Sure.
Whereas NBC, I would think for they made
more of this
Thursday
show.
night, right?
Yeah, they made Thursday night what it was. But they got some different shows. They got a show like the Ghost Whisperer they're going to bring in called The In-Between. That we always talk about, it's not enough shows in bars. Boom, NBC's got you covered. It's going to be called Abby's.
I guess it's about a bar called Abby's.
It's honestly, they say it sounds like Cheers, except it's in San Diego, not Boston.
Okay.
Oh, San Diego's got great bars.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone will be sitting outside.
There's nobody ugly there.
They got a show
Until we get there.
that The Rock's a part of, the Titan Games. 6 contestants. These contestants annoy me, so I'm calling them contestants. 6 contestants match it up in physical challenges against the reigning Titans. Almost seems like, what was the show we used to watch back in the day? With the American Gladiators.
But based on teams, though, instead of individuals? Is that the idea?
Yeah, just as they're going up against the Titans.
Okay.
Also, NBC's going to add a Winter Champions edition of America's Got Talent. America's Got Talent dominates the ratings every summer, frankly, because it's one of the few shows that comes
live, right?
Right, it's live, and it comes on for the summer, and it's new episodes.
Right.
Like most shows you know of and like, basically just are done for the summer.
And you know what, man? If there are 900 people fishing at a lake, and you can get there when there's only 4, wouldn't you think you could catch more fish then? You think that they would have more... I think more people would catch on to that. Like, hey, here's an opportunity for a new show to grow or a new show to be presented.
Do it with some shows. The only problem is
they're not going to get the ratings, and that still pisses
Well, no,
them
it's
off.
not that. You can get the ratings, but it's just a lot of time because there's so many new TV shows on all of these ridiculous, frivolous networks that you kind of forget until summer comes back. And you go, oh, Christ, yeah, a year ago I watched this. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it. I mean, look, man, one way to know that most of these networks are garbage, and I don't mean the main ones, and most of the ones on cable are fine, but every time people bring up the idea of doing a la carte with cable, like, look, I just want to pay for the networks I watch.
Right.
What do they always say? Oh, that'd be the death of, and they list like 80% of their networks. And you're like, right. So you admit that 80% of what you do is garbage, but we still get inundated. Like, you recognize that no one would pay for this garbage, but you still force us to have it.
Let me ask you.
Makes no sense to me.
Let's be honest. If you got rid of like a lot of the like random kind of cable networks, like how would we have any idea whether it's fishing, hunting, looking for gold? What the hell is going on in Alaska?
All right, but
we wouldn't know.
Just put it all on the Alaska channel.
Here's the thing.
Are they fishing?
It's a product.
Are they falling through ice in a truck? Like just the Alaska channel.
But the model for the product is so, in my mind, it's a broken model, and it's the way a lot of media works, and it's retarded. Well, it's stupid. Perfect example. All right, you have Heinz ketchup. Okay. Heinz Ketchup doesn't sign a deal and says, we only go into Safeway. Now, they have competition. There's Kroger, there's Whole Foods, there's all kinds of grocery stores out there. But there's no one place for only that one type of ketchup.
Right.
And that's kind of what television does. And it's sometimes it's smart, sometimes it's not. If you had Stranger Things 2 coming out, let's put that as a hypothetical, right?
Or 3.
Right, from Netflix.
All right, or 3, all right? And you have it coming out in the fall. Well, if I'm ABC and I need a show, I can run Stranger Things second season, still promoting the fact that Netflix, they're going to have a third season coming out. They can run commercials and everything. I'm just providing the ketchup most people would probably like to eat if they hadn't seen it, hadn't tasted it, or anything else. It should be...
Carry the products that people want.
Carry the products people want. Maybe you don't have the newest one yet because someone has exclusive rights to that, like Netflix.
Sure, right.
But Netflix is not going to say, no, we don't want you to help.
What network
people
has
watch.
a problem showing repeats?
Right,
They
none.
couldn't even position
so
themselves
if you're going
to
to do that, like if you're not going to build a show, then put on good shows that people want to
already
watch.
like.
Yeah, I think if you're Netflix or Hulu though, like people have to pay for those services.
They do.
So I would think you'd be a little protective.
no,
But I think they also
understand
know
that,
that people know that once that show has been aired and it's gotten its lifetime where most people will download and binge that show, their expectations are that you're just going to be fired up for the next season. So in those instances, like you could do the same thing with HBO. If they have a new Curb Your Enthusiasm coming out, you could put the old season on because everyone who wanted to see it already watched it.
Well, the thing
and those who
right.
didn't would watch it. Now you have a new audience, and then they're going to be interested in the new episode. Now they're going to subscribe to HBO.
I think the most interesting thing we'll see if some of these shows get into syndication from these other networks.
Right.
That
and that'll be the
and they'll make a lot more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Law and Order SVU. Mm. I never watch it. I know Ice-T is on it, and I knew the show's been on for a while. They got renewed again. That'll be its 20th season. So now it's tying with the longest running dramas of the regular Law and Order and Gunsmoke.
I gotta think that's one of those shows.
This is longer than he's been in Body Count.
I think it's like one of those shows that's like a band where they never have a number one record. You don't even know if you like them or not, but in the 30 years they've been around, they've made just enough money to be a band. I feel like that show, they know exactly what they're going to pay.
There's this weird...
They know exactly who the advertisers are, and they make whatever... Like, they're never going to make any more or less money off of that show, and it's fine.
It's always like the same weird cast of people, too. Like, do we call Andre Brower or do we call Richard Belzer?
Richard Belzer. Munch is back. Because after 30 years of... Yeah.
So I've talked a lot in the last few weeks about how they keep bringing back these old shows, right? So Roseanne came back, Murphy Brown came back, Mad About You.
Murphy!
I still don't know who was clamoring for that show. So Fox confirmed that they're going to bring back Last Man Standing after it was canceled a year ago by ABC. Now that's Tim Allen's show. But
yeah.
Basically, it kind of got famous because it was very right-leaning. So, like, Roseanne's now is kind of famous for being, like, the president called her and this and that. So that's what Last Man Standing was, like, kind of a show for conservatives and this and that. But it got canceled by ABC. Now, the issue here is, though, that, like, ABC also revived American Idol after Fox got rid of it. But the thing is that the ratings over there have been terrible.
Well, I think there's a difference. I mean, like, American Idol got replaced by The Voice. So American Idol, they can do whatever they want. That show's done. But
or
with
America's
Tim
Got
Allen,
Talent.
but with Tim Allen show. I mean, if you like Tim Allen and like the show, it's not like they came up with the other version of that. I think he'll do just fine. I really do.
It will. Some of the shows, right, it's just kind of funny. Like, they keep bringing back stuff like King of Queens, right? You basically revitalized that show with Kevin Can Wait when you fired the actress and then brought back
Leon Remini.
Yeah, and now that show's getting canceled.
Glad you guys don't have any patience. Like, Jesus Christ.
Thin line there in Hollywood these days.
I think we can see what the bottom line is here. You're yanking crap way too early. Not giving a chance, man. Doesn't that seem to be the case? Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. We got your headlines coming up with Mike here in just a few minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to Florida, where they are so dumb they can't figure out why they are catching flack for bringing a tiger to the prom. Meanwhile, keyless ignitions have killed 28 as people accidentally leave their car running. Then they are gone, carbon monoxide-wise. Library book returned after 47 years, shocking people that libraries still exist. It being pregnant wasn't hard enough. Also, getting hit by lightning might make you pissed. And Detroit PD, they swear in the cat Officer Donut. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
All right, our top story, we go to Miami, where a high school's Welcome to the Jungle prom theme got a little too real. The prom was held at a local Doubletree Hilton, and people were astonished when a live caged tiger was brought into the dance. But that's not all. A lemur, 2 macaws, and an African fox were also brought in.
An African fox? What was her name?
Jeez. The organizers defend their decision, saying that the animals were always properly handled and were never in any danger, nor were the dance goers.
Well, you know they're properly handled, because one thing about a natural habitat for tigers is that music is blurring with teenagers dancing around them.
Exactly. Yeah, you can make the case that the tiger was in the cage and there was people around, and they actually said that the tiger was out for maybe 5 minutes. But still, like you said, the chaos that's going outside that cage, the loud music, the strobe lights, the constant people with cell phones.
A tiger.
Oh, that's just going to rile the thing up like crazy, man.
Right. That's all I'm saying, man. It is what it is, but yeah.
Cool for 5 minutes, but a terrible idea, people.
Agreed.
Around the world, while fulfilling a bucket list dream involving Everest, 2 climbers could be facing a 10-year ban from the mountain.
Oh, they're...
Why?
They're so ridiculous. I'll tell you, this is what happened, okay? 2 Sherpas who've been going up there 9 million times, providing all the economical dollars in that area for a long period of time, based on what it is that people go there to do, which is climb this mother, right?
And nothing else.
And that's what they do. These guys bust their ass to make sure that those ropes are in place, all the lines are up, everything is ready to go, and that people have the opportunity to do that. Most people who should not be up there anyway, there are a large percentage of people who should be there. They guide them to the top. These guys decided when they got to the Lhotse face, they wanted to ski down the damn thing, all right? Just because they wanted to try it. Not only that, but they were doing a test on altitude. So they had 1 twin at sea level and 1 twin up, and they were going to run some tests to see how they differentiated on their body. So scientifically, but they wanted to get their ass down, right? Turns out you need to have a ski down Everest permit.
Well, then that's the rule. They're Sherpa. They should know.
But no one had ever done it, so they really didn't know that this thing existed. Then they get to the bottom and said, we didn't know, we'll pay for it. What's the permit cost? Like, we're just trying to get our ass back down.
Okay.
And they said, oh, no, now you're going to be like, no, we'll pay for it.
And they don't pay the Sherpas what they should get.
They screwed those guys over in the first place.
Climbing the most dangerous peak on Earth.
Yeah, one of them, sure. It was. They basically just tried to screw those guys over for no reason.
Thanks, Miles. Yeah. In other news, it appears that the Detroit PD has a new officer in its ranks. Just last week, the judge swore in a new officer that they have lovingly named Pofficer Donut. If you haven't guessed it by now, Pofficer Donut is actually a kitten that the department adopted to be a therapeutic kitten for the department. Donut is going to replace their first cat, Badges, who was decommissioned due to an illness.
Do you have to name your animal I mean, we know what you do for a living, right? You know, like your name's the cat, Dr. Gomez. Guess what? You're not
Possifer.
Come on, man. Gosh.
I think it's rather clever.
That's very clever, Mike. I'm sure my 5-year-old would not have thought of that. I'm sure it takes a real adult to figure it out.
Officer, if I was arrested, I'd want to pet the kitty.
I'll tell you right now, you get drunk enough. Officer
Donut, everybody.
I want my Officer Donut.
You gotta wear the
I'm just glad it's an actual animal.
Right.
What?
Well, like when I first heard that term today, I was like, somebody said that to a cop?
That was my thought.
Seems like it's asking for trouble.
Officer Donut.
This is also a kitty, man. You don't know how all kitties are going to turn out. Sometimes they turn out to be pretty cool. Other times they turn out to be just like, leave me alone.
Yeah, it might be Officer Psycho here from there.
That's right. Probably a nightmare scenario for the Ted Smith. A snake made its way out onto the field of a minor league baseball game during the 8th inning. It took 5 men with an assortment of lawn tools and buckets to corral the animal, but it is being said from an unnamed Facebook users that the animal did not survive the encounter. They do say over and over again in this story that it was Facebook users that said that the animal didn't survive. Not to say that it didn't, because they were a little bit rough with it, but unless you were, Lawn Man Ricky, who was out there with a rake corralling this thing.
Lawn Man Ricky.
I don't believe anybody that just watched this video could actually say, nope, that animal's dead.
But what if they lived it? I don't know, but it's not like the minor league team has come out and been like, oh yeah, the snake's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, it doesn't say that the animal lived either. It just says that, man, people that are just watching the video are not a good source as to whether or not this animal survived or not.
No, snakes are one of the first things you see. Like, kill it!
Yeah, right. It's not cute. Nobody cares.
There's plenty of people rallying behind killing it. There's no doubt about that.
I was going to say, now think about this exact same story. No one knows if the snake survived or not, and put Puppy in there.
Oh yeah, they're pissed.
Puppies are cute. Snakes are not. That's how we roll.
Like, I don't know anybody that had a shovel for cutting off heads of other animals besides snakes.
Oh, I do, like pet dog. Like, think about that hairless puppy you showed us, Mike.
Yeah.
People think it's cute. Then when they see it, they be like, burn it with fire.
In San Francisco, the unthinkable has happened. A book titled Soul on Ice was returned to the public library, but it was a little bit more than late. The book was due in 1970, roughly 48 years past due. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the Drunken Charge. Ryan Castle into Sit and Spin. Men's Room rules are back. Profile this, and we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.